Okay, today on the podcast, I've got a very, very special guest joining me all the way from the States. It's Macho Man. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, yeah, doing the thing. Yeah, cheap heat. Like it.
Good to have you on the show. Is this your first Irish podcast?
I believe so. Yeah,
Okay, so we're making history tonight then as well.
making history all around the world. Yeah.
So, Mach, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
All right, here's the deal, man. I started my quest as a Macho Man impersonator at a very young age. For some reason, I was able to do this voice even before I hit puberty. And I guess it was from watching way too much TV, way too much. And next thing you know, I'm actually before I was doing this, I was actually in the wrestling business, and I was actually a wrestler by the name of Vic Devine. Trained down at OVW and worked for WWE on occasion. Not under contract, but when they were in town when I was living in New York. And when that was all done, man, when I realized that my body had taken its toll, and that's my dog playing over it. That it's not going to work for me. I have to try to get that away from her. So yeah, man, when that was all done, I was like, I said, what am I good at? And I did a little bit of acting. I moved to LA, did a little bit of that. And then I realized that I never tried making money with this. I never took it like serious. And when I decided to take it serious, man, things started happening. I got some business cards made up. I got some 8x10s done. And I just started promoting myself on social media and everything. And, now it's like, this is what I do.
Yeah, and how long have you been active in this persona?
It's been about 2 years now. I would say that ain't my happening, man.
Pop an elbow drop on him.
Here, play with this ball. It's quiet. All right. Man, I feel bad now. Look, man, I took her toy away.
It all adds to the show. What is that?
It's like a little smiley face, and it squeaks, and she doesn't put it down.
Okay.
And now she's looking at me funny. I feel bad, but hey, I'm working. Yeah. All right.
So you've been doing this maybe about 2 years now.
Yeah.
And obviously the Macho Man has like played a significant part in yourself growing up. What was it about the Macho Man? I'm assuming he's your favorite wrestler ever.
Yes, he is. Good
Yeah.
get.
What is it about the Macho Man that differentiates for you from everyone else?
Well, when I first saw him, it wasn't even wrestling. Like, back then I didn't know what wrestling, if it was good wrestling, bad wrestling. I mean, there was a time I thought the Ultimate Warrior was great. But in a way he was, because, when you just see that persona on the screen, you know what I mean? It just catches your attention. I remember just seeing Randy Savage, just, of course, his voice right away, his mannerisms. He's wearing a glittery robe, the headband to match. And it's like, how could you not, you can't take your eyes off him. You know what I mean? And then just, continuing to watch him, man, he was just different from everybody else. I started out as a Hulkamaniac.
Yep.
Then I saw Motch, and I said, wait a minute, man, this guy's cool.
Yeah. Do you think that these days in the business, I don't know if you watch too much of what goes on these days, but I do have a conversation with a lot of people that even if you don't watch it, from the outside that those larger than life characters don't exist anymore. Would you agree with that?
I agree 100%, man. Diehard WWF fan from 1985, you know what I mean? All the way up until I would say about probably around like 2002, something like that. And you know, it was like, you could see it going in a different direction. And now, man, it's like you know, this is the way I look at it. You know what I mean? If you can't tell that somebody is a wrestler, outside of, like, if you saw them in the bank, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, any of these guys that are on TV now, you're not going to look twice at. You're not going to know that they're, a famous wrestler for WWE. You go back a few years, though, you see a guy like Triple H, you see a guy like Undertaker, Kane. I mean, these guys are huge. And, and I'm not just talking about like in stature, because Macho Man wasn't a big guy,
Yeah.
but you could be sure that wherever he was turning heads. You know what I mean? And then you got guys today, like, I mean, not to take anything away from their talent or their athleticism, but you look at a guy like Daniel Bryan, and if you saw him anywhere, he just, he's more believable being in the 10th row than he is being in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about his wrestling because he's a very good wrestler, but if he told somebody, "Hey, I'm a WWF wrestler," they'd go, "No, seriously, what do you do?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you mean
Yeah.
from that perspective as well. I think a lot of guys these days are what I say to people is that their characters aren't developed. Like even into the late 90s, you see wrestlers like someone like Goldust, good wrestler, great personality, good backstory. People like even this was probably around the Attitude Era. After that, things probably started to diminish a small bit. But you
Right.
look at guys like Gangrel, The Godfather, he used to be
Loved
he was Papa Shango, back when you were big into it as well.
it.
But I
Hmm.
just don't see that. I see a lot of guys like even McIntyre and Lashley now, great athletes, fantastic, but they're kind of like plain guys in black trunks, like really. And
Right.
it doesn't do it for me. But when I say that to a lot of people, they'd kind of get offended by it, because they still buy into the product, and I still like watching the product. There's a pay-per-view on tonight, but I'm not going to watch it because it doesn't do anything for me. Like the last pay-per-view I watched was Mania, but you got to watch Mania. Did you see Mania this year?
No, man. I don't
No.
even know what, man. I'm so discouraged. Uh, with today's stuff, it doesn't interest me, man. And like none of there might be like one or two people that like you know, like if I could just go and watch those matches, you
Yeah,
know, like and just because like I would just uh I'd see things like on, as you're scrolling on Facebook, whatever like that, and you're like, oh, okay, that looks interesting, or oh yeah, I like that person, like just from first glance, I could tell like I have a crush on Alexa Bliss, and not, but I love the stuff that she's doing. That character, man. It's creepy and she does it really well, and it's different for a woman to do a character.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, good.
so
Totally, yeah.
I like what they're doing with her. So if she, if I was flipping through the channels and I saw her, I'd stop. You know what I mean? Uh, I like what's his name, Damian
Priest.
Priest. Yeah, he just has a good look, and I only saw him for like a second, man. I saw him, his look, and I heard him talking, and I was like, all right, you know what, he's got it. You know, it's just I could look at somebody and go, yeah, they have the it factor. There's something there, and I guarantee he's going to go far.
Yeah. If WWE was on in your hometown tomorrow night, would you go?
If it was here in person,
Yeah.
like, would I have to purchase the ticket, or I don't know. I would go, but I don't know if I would pay to go.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, probably not, man. Because to tell you the truth, man, I got comp tickets to a SmackDown. I guess it was probably a couple of years ago already, and I left before the main event. and
Already.
yeah, those were comps. And I went in character, so my job really was done, man. I like to go places in character that where there's a wrestling crowd, and try to get myself out there. I was doing it more for that than I was for the entertainment of the show. I wanted people to take pictures and get my social media, and I'm trying to get famous over here.
Yeah. Was the reception good to you being in character and dressed up?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, it's it's unbelievable, man, the way people react when they see it. Uh,
Yeah.
Actually, what started this whole thing really was like I think I had just started doing it, and they had a cosplay contest at Star. What was it, Starcast? Um, before the what is it called? The first show that they did at MGM, the Double or Nothing.
Oh yeah. AW.
Right. So I won 2 tickets to that show, 2 front row tickets,
Wow.
because I won the cosplay contest the day before, and so I went there. I went and I'm in the front row like this, and
Yeah.
getting a lot of attention. When I walked in, people were cheering. It was crazy, man. I was loving it, you know. And then I said, that's kind of like where I was like, you know what? Yeah, I could definitely do something with this. It gets enough, you know,
Attention.
attention. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite Macho Man Randy Savage matches off the top of your head? If you were to pick, I'm not going to ask you to pick one. I might ask you to pick three. That'd be fair.
Well, honestly, I know, that I'm going to say WrestleMania 3,
Yeah.
but I've seen other matches with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat that wasn't, that was before WrestleMania 3. That was, there was a lot of WrestleMania 3 spots and moments in there. So every match that they've had, I really liked. So those two together, in any match. Let me see. There was a couple of old matches with him and Shawn Michaels. They actually did work, but they just didn't get to do that program.
Yeah.
I watched a match of them in where were they? Germany or something? No, they were in England, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, and those two. I mean, he could adapt to anybody's style, man. When he was wrestling Shawn Michaels, he was like doing things that were different. When he wrestles a big guy, he wrestles a different way. So, trying to think of who else I really.
I seen earlier. I was looking at some old matches, and he had a couple of good matches with Razor Ramon back in the day as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to pick three, man, because
Yeah.
I really enjoyed, the only matches, if you ask me what I didn't enjoy, really, I didn't enjoy any of the matches with Ultimate Warrior. There's a lot of people that said that, like WrestleMania 7, I believe, was the retirement match.
Yeah.
Um, to me, I don't know. Every time I watch that match, man, there's just something not right about it. It didn't have the psychology, like something wasn't flowing right. And it just didn't, I don't know, man.
There might have been a lack of chemistry or something between the two
Yeah,
guys, maybe.
I think, I think Macho Man did the best he could in there with Warrior, but I don't think he was having an easy time with him because it just didn't look very smooth. And a lot of people say that, that his matches with Ultimate Warrior were good, but
Mhm.
I've seen a lot of them. I've seen a lot of matches with those two, and I've never really. It's almost as if it's almost like you could tell that Macho Man is kind of like guiding him.
Yeah. Yeah. I seen a, a video of you earlier on when I was looking a few videos of you online. DDP yoga.
Yeah.
How did that come about, man?
Um. Well, actually, I messed up my back really bad from
Okay.
wrestling, and a friend of mine bought me the DVDs, and so I started them a while back. And then once my back started to get a little bit better, and I, got a few of those procedures done with the injections and all that stuff and everything, so I'm good now. But I originally started it because everybody was talking about how good it is for DDP could help recovery and everything. So um, I just started doing it again. I wanted to switch things up. I want to get more flexible and everything. So I figured if I'm going to do it, man, I'll do it in character. You know what I mean? Do a
Yeah.
little bit. I wanted to do a whole series of, I had this whole idea. Um, but I'm gonna have to wait until I know that I'm gonna be a little bit more consistent with it because I seem to do it for a little while, and then I go back to like working out, with weights, or then I'll get tired of that and I'll go and I'll do something else. So, you know, if I know that I'm going to commit to it and go, stay on for the whole entire program, I had an idea of doing kind of like a journey, you know, seeing me transform and everything. But I'll have to wait until I know that I'm disciplined enough to stick to it.
Is it really as good as everybody says?
It is,
The,
man. It
yeah.
really is. It's unbelievable because, like, you know, I'm not very flexible at all.
Hmm.
And once even just when I first started, um, I'm doing movements that I don't normally do. And I even noticed in just a couple weeks that, I was able to bend further and that there was no pain either. Because when I first got the DDP yoga, I couldn't do. I mean, there's the beginner one starts out in your bed. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When the stretches and stuff in your bed, man. And I had a hard time with that. My back was so messed up that it was like, you know, the next series was doing it in the chair. And that one was the worst because when I sat down was when my back, hurt the most. Um, so being that I was actually getting, probably on my way to becoming, a lot more flexible, like the way that all those people are. I mean, if you've seen the stories, man, I mean,
Yeah, I've seen some stories. Yeah, it's really inspiring stuff.
yeah, I mean, not just the weight loss, man, but the flexibility and the, health issues going away. And it really is, man. I mean, it's gotten people off alcohol and drugs because they have something to aim towards. I mean, DDP is like there's people on earth that are angels, man, and I believe that he's got to be one of them, man, because he's saved so many lives already and corrected people's lives, and it's just unreal what he's doing for people.
Absolutely.
Uh,
I'm gonna show you a little video here. I didn't tell you I have this, and
oh,
you can tell me what's going on after this, yeah?
oh man, I love surprises.
Here we go. Here's a surprise for you.
I don't see any of the Macho Man Randy Savage, man. And I don't know nothing about this guy or nothing about this guy right here. And this championship belt here don't mean nothing, man. Because it ain't the Intercontinental Heavyweight title and it ain't the WWE title that I used to hold yet. So I'm gonna tell you something right now, man. Here I am at Walmart and I'm gonna tell you right now, yeah, Macho Man ain't happy, man, because they need to redo this whole WWE section right there. You understand what I'm saying? Because I don't see nothing. Nothing on that wall, yeah. Nothing that matters, man, because nothing means nothing. And I'm looking right into the video scope right now, and I'm talking to you, yeah. And there's a cleanup on aisle 2 right there for you, huh?
What
Yeah,
what I want to ask you about videos like that is, do you get permission or have you been in any trouble? Do you just go in and you just go for it?
well, let me tell you about that, man. That
Yeah,
was completely unplanned. Here's the story with that.
yeah,
I believe it was right after, I guess it was, let me see, March. Uh, yeah, it was the Halloween that followed when I first started doing this.
yeah,
Uh, or maybe it was before, but it was Halloween anyway. It was Halloween, and of course I'm going to be Macho Man, right?
yeah,
So, um, my friend was here from New York, and we went to a Halloween party, right? A costume party, and when we left there, she said, "Could we stop off at Walmart? I got to get a new suitcase. My suitcase is all messed up." And I said, "Yeah, you know." And so I'm dressed like that, and we just passed by the toy aisle, and I just said to her, I go, "Hey, record this," and I didn't know, it was not planned. You know what I mean? The idea came in my head right then and there, and I said, "Here, just record it." I didn't know what I was gonna do. You know what I mean? And it wasn't like I got dressed to go there
yeah.
and shoot this video. So that was like completely like just off the top of my head, hey, this will be funny, you know? And I didn't even think to put it on social media, you know what I mean? I was just doing it, and I put it up on I put it up on social media. At that time, I think I only really had Facebook. And next thing you know, and I know nothing about social media. I'm horrible. I actually have somebody that does my stuff for me now because it just, if it wasn't for that, nobody would know me at all because I just
Yeah.
can't. I know I hate all of it. Old school guy. Um, but it got out there, man, and people are like, people are telling me, people that I know are telling me, man, do you know that you have like, 100,000 views on your video? I'm like, what? And that's when I really like I'm like, all right, that's definitely a sign. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm running with this thing, man.
I
So,
ha- I have another video. It may have been recorded the same day. I enjoyed this one. We'll have a look at this one.
Or
uh,
something, if there's one thing the Macho Man likes, yeah, it's chicks. Mm. It's something better than just one chick or two chicks, is a whole crib of chicks. And what we got here right now, we got a whole crib of chicks right here, man, yeah. Uh-huh. Chicks dig the Macho Man, and the Macho Man digs the chicks, man. And right now in Walmart, 97 cents, you can have all the chicks you want. Yeah. Cheap for Vegas, if you know what I mean. But, the chicks come, cheap here, you know what I mean? Yeah. Hey, chicks, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
Was that the same day?
yeah, that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
once I got it. Once I did that first video, then we walked past. Ideas just kept coming, man. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
man, yeah,
I see this crib of chicks, and I'm automatically, a crib of chicks.
yeah,
you know, and then I started making videos on purpose. You know what I mean? I started to
yeah,
selfie videos, and they didn't get over as much as the ones that were kind of by accident. You
yeah.
know?
They're probably the best type. The ones that are kind of impromptu, like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I did one where I was at Walmart and I'm driving around in one of those the shopping cart, those little scooter things,
yeah,
right? And I'm driving around, I'm doing a selfie video, but here's Macho Man driving around, and I go down the beer aisle and I say that I'm thirsty and I crack open a beer, and now I'm driving around the store drinking a Bud Light and in full gimmick,
yeah.
and I put it up and it's like nothing.
Oh, really? Yeah, I didn't see that video because I was looking through your videos and I picked those two because I thought they were really funny, but probably because you said they were just spur of the moment, maybe, you know?
Right, right. And
Yeah.
now I'm always trying to think of cool ideas, and it's like, you know, it's like almost like the more I think about it, the less cool it's going to be. It just has to happen.
Yeah, because when I was looking at that from the outside, I thought, okay, you put on the gear and you went to the store to do those, but you were coming from a Halloween party, so it's completely kind of accidental.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Have you
That,
done many conventions over there?
not lately because of this whole
Yeah,
pandemic. But before that, I was trying to make it to luckily I'm in Vegas, so there was a few things here, like the Starcast thing. Um, I know that they postponed the Cauliflower Alley Club, but I've gone there in
yeah,
gimmick. I'm doing it again. Usually, if there's anything wrestling that I could get to, any type of convention, or like I said, even when SmackDown was here, I just try to get in front of as many wrestling fans as possible because, of course, they're the ones that are going to go nuts. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So,
It's it's kind of like me. So what I do over here is in Ireland when WrestleMania, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, and the Royal Rumble are on, we all get together in Dublin, maybe 40, 50 people, and we go to the pub, the bar, and we watch it till 4:30, 5 a.m. in the morning. So we just have a few drinks, and that's to me even better than watching the event. It's just to be around the wrestling fans to do these things because that's where the fun is.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that, if they were ever doing something like that here where they were having like a WrestleMania night at a bar or something like that, I would definitely go in character. I mean,
yeah,
I started going out in character all the time because I really wanted it to be comfortable and I really wanted, so, I would get up and just put something on, whether it was this or, just, whatever, but I'd be wearing, the bandana and the glasses and stuff like that. And you'd be surprised how many people know who Macho Man is just everywhere. You
yeah.
know, I walk into a 7-Eleven and the guy goes, "Oh yeah, go grab it." And then people were loving it, man. I used to have a yellow convertible, right? So I'm driving around
Yeah.
in a convertible like this, and it's just fit. You know what I mean? So I was getting real used to it, man. And I was enjoying becoming that. I felt like I had to live it in order to feel comfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
And, but then there's not too many places that you could go, so I kind of like stopped doing it because it was like I was hardly even going out. You know,
Yeah,
I think
but the pandemic wouldn't have helped though either. And
right,
now with things starting to the wheels are starting to turn again. I know from talking to a lot of people over in the States that things are looking positive over there. You've got music shows, wrestling events, things like that. I think it was the one good thing about the wrestling was that it kept going even through the pandemic without crowds, which kind of helped even the independents as well along the way. I think just to keep things ticking over.
right.
In
And
ter- in terms of yourself, no, go ahead there first.
no, I was going to say some good things came out of there not being a live crowd because they were able to do those cinematic
Oh
type
yeah,
matches like with the Undertaker and stuff like that. And that just, some people kind of didn't like that, but I thought it was different. Nobody had ever seen anything like that before. It's like watching a movie. I thought it was awesome.
I loved it, and because of Taker's age as well,
Hmm.
it made sense for him to be able to do a match where you could edit, you could make him look like he was 20 years ago. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because his body just wasn't up to it coming into that match. If he was to have that match with Styles in front of the crowd, it probably wouldn't have been that good.
Right.
But the way he went out with the cinematic match was brilliant.
Yeah. And he liked it too, man. He said he wouldn't have picked a better way. It was just really cool. Him on the motorcycle and the metallic
Metallica,
background, you know what I mean? And I was like, man, this is like that reminded me of like the Attitude Era. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, because remember in the Attitude Era, man, they used to always be out like, half the show would be out at a bar somewhere. You see the APA beating somebody up at a bar, or Brian Pillman's house and Stone Cold showing up there. Remember, it's like that's the good stuff, man.
or The Rock throwing Austin's belt over the bridge. There was
Yeah,
some good shit there.
right. It was like it was like there was matches, you know what I mean, and the matches were good, but there was like this whole other element of like, things going on outside the ring. Stone Cold and Booker T in the supermarket.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, they need to bring some of that stuff back because you know what? Some people say, that's not wrestling. Hey, man, I love '80s wrestling. Pure good matches, but I also appreciate the entertainment and the funny stuff and the outside of the ring stuff. I just think that it's like
yeah,
it's a whole different show. You know what I mean?
yeah. They're not striking that balance these days between outside the ring and inside the ring. Like it's great to have a brilliant wrestling match for half an hour with two guys giving it all. But if the build up isn't right, me personally, I'm just not into it, you know. But maybe everything comes in cycles, so maybe in a few years' time things will change again, hopefully.
That's how it usually happens, man. I've noticed
Yeah.
the ups and downs over the years that I've been watching. You know what I mean? Like in the '90s, when WWE they had all those really bad gimmicks.
Hmm.
Like Yell Hopper and the Goon. Remember, like in
Yeah.
'94 or whatever it was. I mean, it was during the the whole like steroid trial and everything. So like Vince wasn't on top of things, and um, but yeah, I mean, there's been severe, you know, roller coaster rides, and I'm hoping that it comes back where, because I'd like to be a fan again. I'd like to watch it and look forward to watching it. I
Yeah.
remember I wouldn't miss a Monday Night Raw. You know what I mean? During the Attitude Era, it was like, you know, I was just such a diehard fan, man. And now, I'm enjoying the biographies now, the on A&E.
Yeah.
Uh, the one that I liked the least was the one about Macho Man because they really didn't make him look so good, man. It was like more of a, they were like hating on him more than they were praising him.
It was similar in a way to Warriors documentary DVD that came out a few years ago. A lot of
Uh,
people that were Warrior fans weren't too happy about the way he was portrayed as well, I think.
was that the self destruction?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I never saw it, but like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
Hmm.
you know, like if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. You know,
Absolutely.
and they really made him look. They didn't mention the charity work that he did. He didn't mention how much he loved kids and you know all the good stuff that we know from other DVDs and stuff like that about him. And he was a really good guy. And they made him look like he ended his career like doing drugs.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? I don't know how much you could believe of that. I mean, yeah, you know, so what if he indulged a little bit and partied a little bit? I think he's got the right to do that, but don't make it sound like that was his whole lifestyle. You know what I mean?
I think everyone from that era, it was just a thing, you know,
Yeah,
dabbled in the party lifestyle.
right,
You know, it's the same as rock and roll, man. You know, you look at these bands and stuff like that; they've all been through the mill. You know.
right. And I don't know how so many of them are still alive and they partied more. You know, I think it has to do with the travel schedule and all the bumping and this and
Yeah.
that. And you know, I would have to say that the difference between a rock star and a wrestler is that most of the wrestlers that died, you can blame steroids because the steroids enlarge the heart, and then you're doing all these party drugs on a heart that's already damaged, and that's
Hmm.
why you hear every single wrestler had a heart attack. You know,
Yeah. Even unfortunately, the other day, New Jack passed away.
right,
Yeah.
right. Um, I think that his was, you know, they all are really. They're all drug related in some way. You know, nobody in their 30s or 40s, you know, that's healthy just drops dead of a heart attack out of nowhere. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And they'll admit it, you know, but they always say, you know, they don't say that he died of an overdose. They say he died of a heart attack. But,
Hmm.
you know, like Mr. Perfect, you know, yeah, he had a heart attack, but it was from cocaine.
Yeah. 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 We'll get on to something a bit lighter. I want to talk to you before we wrap up about Cameo and your channel and where we can find you.
Yeah, all right. Well, here's the deal, man. It's all in the spelling. So if you were to Google or put in
Well,
any,
what I'm going to do, I'm going to put all the links in this video as well to make it
oh,
easier for people.
all right, cool, yeah. Well, it's everything is Mach O Man, so it's MOTCHOMANN. And my Twitter is Macho Tweet. You know, easy stuff to remember. Now I can't remember 'em. Macho Graham, and my Facebook is under Macho Man. So as long as you can remember the name, you'll be able to find me. If you go on to Cameo, it's under Macho Man. You just got to spell it right, because if you don't, I'll be in hiding and you'll never find me.
One more thing. Have you done any weddings? Because I've seen a few things about weddings.
I did. I've actually
Yeah.
done, and I was so surprised, man. The first one that I did, they actually flew me out to New Jersey, got me
Wow.
hell, you know, they had a car come pick me up, man. They treated me like I was a, you know, and they didn't know me, man. They just, the story that they told me is that huge wrestling fan. They were so nice, and I'm telling you, I had the best time. I probably had a better time than they did. It was just so unbelievable, man. They let me eat with them and drink with them, and I was dancing with the girls, and it was so cool. But they knew that they wanted a Macho Man impersonator to do their wedding, and they kind of found me by accident because they actually contacted Brandon Savage, who's another Macho Man impersonator, or more of a cosplay, and they asked him, "Can you do, you know, his voice? Can you do the mannerisms?" And he was like, "No, you know, he's just kind of like just the look. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? It takes a real special skill to do what I do." I don't know. They found me by accident, man, and they contacted me and asked me if I wanted to do it, and I thought it was like, I was like, wow, you know, like I'm actually doing weddings, man. So yeah, man, I, you know, flew out to New Jersey, and I had the best time, man. And then I did one out here. Um, there was a couple, and he was actually a wrestler, so he wanted. That time I did the NWO match because I always let them pick, man, because I got them all
Yeah.
from Macho King all the way to you know, I could color in my. If I don't dye my beard, I'll look the way he did before he passed away. I got a, you know, white beard, man. I'm telling you, so I could hit it from, you know, from his early ICW days to, you know, till he was done wrestling.
Yeah.
But they wanted the NWO match, and we did it right at the Las Vegas sign. And,
Brilliant.
and then to seal the deal, instead of kissing the bride, I made them do the too sweet instead. And then I
Nice.
kissed the bride. They had to do that first.
So you're available for weddings as well. Anyway, that's another key point.
Man,
Listen, Motch, it was an absolute pleasure to have you today on the show.
yeah, it was, man. I was, I was having a good time too. Yeah.
Appreciate that, man.
Thank you.